Imagine a world where the biggest thrill of your week was picking out a movie at Blockbuster. It was a simpler time, until one night, a seemingly harmless encounter turned into a nightmare that still haunts me. From mysterious VHS tapes to creepy strangers lurking outside my window, the line between ordinary and terrifying blurred in ways I never saw coming. And it all started with a free movie. Years ago, there was a store called Blockbuster Video that was a major hub for movie rentals. The stores were everywhere, and renting movies and DVDs was the go-to activity when you wanted to watch something at home. I loved walking around inside those stores as a kid. I could easily spend hours just browsing through the aisles, looking at all the cool movies. This story takes place in the early 2000s. I was a young adult at the time, living alone in an apartment. I was lucky enough to have a Blockbuster right nearby, and I'd rent movies at least once a week. One evening, like any other, I stopped at a store after work and then headed over to Blockbuster. The place was pretty quiet because it was getting late, so I had the whole store to myself. I spent a good 20 or 30 minutes wandering the aisles, reading DVD boxes, and picking out a couple of movies to watch over the weekend. I don't even remember which ones, but I checked out, paid, and left the store. As I stepped outside, I noticed a guy standing by the entrance. He had big glasses, dark hair, a goatee, and was tall. He was holding a VHS tape and stopped me as I walked by. He said he had to buy the movie in his hand because of late fees and asked if I wanted it for free. Apparently, he'd taken too long to return it, and it was cheaper to buy than to pay the fees. He told me he didn't want to keep the movie, but he also didn't want to return it to Blockbuster. I agreed, of course. Free movie? Why not? I took the tape without even looking at it and went to my car. The man walked away, and I didn't think much of it. When I got in my car, I finally took a look at the movie. It was Shanghai Noon. The box looked interesting enough, and I was happy to have it for free. Over the weekend, I watched the movies I rented, but by the following week, I didn't have anything new to watch, so I decided to pop in Shanghai Noon. When I hit play, though, I quickly realized something was wrong. The movie was not Shanghai Noon. Instead, it looked like a home video, shot by a camera. I kept watching, curious about what was going on. The footage seemed to show the man filming outside in a parking lot at night, and soon, I saw my own car on the screen. I was in it, getting out and heading into the Blockbuster store. My stomach dropped. He had been filming me. I continued watching, horrified, as I saw the man follow me into the store, filming me from behind as I wandered the aisles. He even filmed me while I looked at movies, a few aisles away, without me ever noticing. I felt sick as I watched him keep following me around, even after I left the store. When the footage ended, I was left in stunned silence. I didn't go back to that Blockbuster for a while. When I did return, I never saw the man again, and I still don't know what his intentions were. Was it some kind of prank? Was he trying to scare me, or worse, stalk me? I'll never know. But looking back, it felt a lot scarier back then, when people actually had to use video cameras to do stuff like that, before everyone had a smartphone. Flash forward to 2003, between my sophomore and junior years of high school. It was a Friday, and my friends Amelia and Jessica came over for a sleepover. My parents were out, and my older brother was away at college. We decided to rent a movie, since we'd seen everything in my parents' collection. Luckily, a Blockbuster was just a short walk away. We made our way to the store and started looking around. A few other customers were there, and it took us a while to agree on a movie. Eventually, we decided on something, but when we went up to the counter, we met a new employee. He looked to be around our age, maybe 20, had spiky dark hair, and started chatting with us. He asked what we were doing that night, and before long, he casually suggested we invite him over to join our movie night. We laughed, thinking he was joking, but when he said he was serious, it got awkward. We politely turned him down and grabbed our movie, then left the store. After returning to my house, we settled into the family room to watch the movie. About an hour in, we heard a noise from the window behind us. I turned around casually, and to my shock, the same guy from Blockbuster was standing there in the backyard. We froze in fear, and he knocked on the window. At that moment, we were all creeped out. Jessica ran off to the kitchen, and the man just stood there, not showing any emotion, neither angry nor friendly, just strange. Eventually, he walked away, but just as we thought we were safe, we heard the back door rattling. Thankfully, Jessica had locked it just moments earlier. We quickly went around the house, closing all the blinds and keeping watch. My parents were on their way home, and I called them to let them know what had happened. We kept an eye out but couldn't see the man anymore. When my parents arrived, my dad went outside to check things out. The yard wasn't very big, but there was a small patch of woods at the back. When he checked there, he spotted the guy hiding in the woods. As soon as the man saw my dad, he took off running and didn't return. I was on edge the rest of the night, but luckily, he never came back. I later found out that the guy had been fired from Blockbuster for his behavior, but I was glad it didn't escalate further. I used to work at a Blockbuster myself. It was one of my first jobs, and I worked there for about a year and a half. One night, I was closing the store by myself. It was a quiet evening, and by the time it hit 9 p.m., the store was nearly empty. I walked around to make sure no customers were lingering and to tidy up a bit. As I reached the back of the store, I heard